So here I am with Christina Hale, and we are at the landfill. I'll get some footage of that, so you can see that we're not, totally jiving you. Where did we come from? We just came from...
We came from Canters, we came from the west side, and now we're looking at the drag strip, the famous Irwindale Raceway?
Yeah, I guess it's a drag strip where Christina said, hey, there's some racing going on. You want to go check it out? I was like, why not? We just, jumped in our cars and came over here.
And you live near here.
I do live near. Shh, people will find out.
Oh, sorry.
They'll come stalk me.
I gave it away. The paparazzi.
Right. But, through the course, I got to, know you a little bit more. As you know, Christina is an artist herself. I went to your show, The Smoking Gun, where I got to see your pieces displayed, and noticed that your stuff was there from 2002 and on, but a lot of it was done in 2012. A lot of your work. Mm-hmm. Was that because 2012 was a very inspiring year?
I had time. I kind of broke myself out of the 8-hour workday in jail and took a month and a half. And then knew I had the show coming, so I was able to really prepare, which was good. And centered on a theme and kind of chose one object to expand on, which was helpful. Because I'd never done that. Usually I'm doing really large pieces that no one's ever going to fit in the wall or house and, buy, so.
So where do you keep those pieces?
Rolled up.
Rolled up?
Mm-hmm.
You should display them somewhere, You made them. Mm-hmm. Might as well display them.
There were a couple at the show, but...
Yeah, I saw that because the thing was, it was the Smoking Gun. And so I noticed there was a lot, all your work was Smoking Gun. But there were a few pieces that weren't. And I wondered, why did you choose to do that? It was
basically filler. I mean, to use it, to use the space. Like the one against the, I think it's called Jealous Man, against the, behind the secretary or whatever.
Right.
That's an old piece. And a lot of the big pieces have sold. I mean, I remember doing a drum set that was 6 by 8 feet, and, someone bought that. And so, yeah, the big pieces have sold. It just takes a little more time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's real weird, too, that, you did, not necessarily drag me down here, but we came down and I noticed that the theme of cars and kind of guns, it meshes well together with you.
I love cars, yeah.
Well, what's your interest in cars, especially these ones here?
Well, I grew up, my uncle was a GT, he raced Carreras, 911s in the 70s, so I have memories of being on the top of, trailers with really loud laps going on, and so I've always loved cars. My grandfather loves cars. He likes high-performance cars, GTOs and Ferraris and that good stuff. So in my economic bracket, you have Mopars and drag racing, I guess. But I love cars for sure. I mean, objects and anything fast. I like motorcycles too. So I don't know. They're just beautiful objects, really. But it's fun. Adrenaline's a good thing. I think surfing is the safest way. I get that for myself, really. But I'm working on getting a motorcycle. A street bike. A street bike, like a chopper or a rice rocket or something? A cafe racer. Girl style. Look, there's a hawk.
There's a hawk.
Over the landfill.
Definitely circling for some food.
Wow. Beauty. Absolutely.
Is it weird, painting or even sketching? Because here's the thing, I tried sketching once or painting. It was really cool. I was at a concert, an outdoor concert. It was like a blues fest type thing. It was out in Newport, and they had tons of just canvases there and they had brushes and paint. So I said, hey, let me try this little painting thing. I know it's kind of weird doing it out in public with people all around, but I was like, I might as well try to paint something. And as I'm staring at the canvas, it's like, okay, now what do I paint? you know? And so I first I was like, okay, let me just make put something on there. Because once you put something on there, then you know, okay, now I'm in it.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm doing it, I noticed that like every stroke I had to think about, and it was very daunting, because if you mess up, you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing I guess about artistry is not to mess up, right?
Allowing yourself to mess up so many times that you finally get good, really. And it is daunting. I mean, every time you look at a blank piece of paper, summoning the will to actually say something that, I don't know, make something you hope is good, but you do have to deal with a lot of failure. I mean, I've definitely had pieces I've burned or just, you know, continued to progress, not even a chocolate tooth. But yeah, drawing, I mean, when you get into it, when you get into the art of it and the meditation of it, you know, just one mark, I mean, it's a powerful thing to make a mark. And yeah, expanding on that. Drawing is a kind of obsession, you know, obsessive compulsive sort of reaction, I think, to being maybe shut down, and it's a subverted expression. So for me it worked because I always kind of had authority above me, and so I had to figure out ways to like undermine it without being direct, which is graffiti in a lot of ways. You hit different angles. So but yeah, drawing is amazing though. It is something I really love doing, or I have grown to love doing for whatever reason. But yeah, when I started, I was like, I know nothing. I mean, if anything, I'm a testament to being able to do it. If anyone, you know, is listening to this thinking, oh, I'm so bad at art, it's so not true. It's really just disciplining yourself to do something, because we all have it within us, I guess.
And that was like crazy, because now you're here at, you know, the Robert Berman Gallery. It was your second opening.
Yeah.
And how did Robert come into the picture? Did he like say, oh, you know, I've seen your work and I want to...
He, Paul Schimmel from Mocha, another friend of his, Jim Harithis, had seen my work. He's an amazing curator. He had done shows with like John Lennon and Yoko Ono back in the day, and he's just an amazing writer and human. But he got me in touch with Paul, and Paul recommended Robert. So that's how that came about. But yeah, Robert's been amazing. He's a very shrewd businessman, and he's not easy. I mean, to get a show with him, it's not easy. You know what I mean?
So it was a compliment when he approached you?
Oh yeah. On this show, you know, if it doesn't sell at all, I know that Robert felt that I hit a home run, and so that's really what matters. And the show's brought so much to me, regardless of people and connectivity, that it's been really powerful. So
tell me about dealing with, you know, I don't know, but for lack of a better term, I guess, a fan or people that like you, you know, as they walk up to you and they talk to you about your art. Is that comfortable, or is that odd because you're like, okay, someone's coming out that I don't know, but just feels like they know me through my art?
It's the ultimate compliment, especially in visual art. Angela Featherstone, I believe is her last name. She came up this last show, and she and her lady friend, or her partner, I guess, had liked my work and remembered it from 8 years ago. And to me, I mean, even that someone remembers it is amazing, and that they actually actively engage in visual art, because usually I'm alone and kind of isolating myself, and I don't know if I think it's that interesting to people. So when people remember me, I'm like, wow, you know. People remember films, or they remember rock stars, but rarely do I find, I mean, you know what I mean? It's just like a quieter form, I guess. I mean, some people are more expanded, like Shepard Fairey or whatever, but no, I think it's great.
Are you paying attention, like, at your shows to people as they look at your art? Because I was paying attention, and I saw all different walks of life. I saw kids, grown-ups, and they were looking at your art, and some of them had a look of wonderment, some of them had a look of shock. Were you paying attention to that, or was that...
Most of the words and images in this show were kind of meant to be shocking, and I gave myself a lot of leash, because I had kind of held back from, you know, swearing or getting too gritty with, you know, bitch, or, you know, misogyny or things like that. But unfortunately, there's a lot of reality to it, and people like Raymond Pettibone, or people, you know, punk punk, people really inspired me a lot. Basquiat, and they're really free with their terminology, so I was kind of like, well, fuck it,
Yeah.
So yeah, this show probably is a little rated R for kids, and I didn't really think about that. I don't know if they actually, some people just kind of cruise through, and some people actually read the words. I find that most people don't even really see it anyway, but like an art critic like Bill Lazaro, who did that write-up, he nailed it. He really looks in it, and he knows kind of the history of that style, and so those guys pick up on the language more quickly. But for me, it was really allowing myself that language this show. It was just go all out and be pissed, and do criticize your family or whoever is pissing you off. Do talk back. So I was talking back a little bit in this show.
Thanks again, and make sure to catch Christina Hale's exhibit, The Smoking Gun, going on until, was it December 22nd?
December 22nd.
Yeah, tailgating at the landfill. Just another day.
Cheers.
Cheers.
EnterTheShell.com. Thanks for distracting me.